Hello guys, and welcome to News of the Week. Parents who never tell their children that money doesn't grow on trees inevitably produce children who grow up to be dull birds, criminals, civil servants, or politicians. They enter industries where no matter how shitty you are, there's always new easy cash on the way. The Irish government were tasked with producing a bike shed, and they produced a bike shelter, and it cost 335 grand. For context, for comparison, a similar bike shelter at Farmley House cost 29 grand.
Do we know what the situation is with the bike shed yet? The infamous bike shed, which has been obviously featuring in the news for the last couple of weeks. Do we know who signed off on that decision or what the situation was there exactly?
I don't, and I think that will come before the Public Accounts Committee and that will be examined.
But is that not just a matter of making a phone call and seeing whose name is on the purchase order? Why isn't it though? I mean, that seems like a relatively straightforward thing to find out.
It's straightforward too, but I've no doubt it's important to go through properly. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. We're getting wet. All right.
This is a really weird clip. Micheál Martin is acting as though Ben Scallon asked him how big his penis was, which I admit would be inappropriate. But he didn't. He asked him about a potential misuse of public funds. And surely good politicians and journalists should be on the same side if they both want what's right, accountability, transparency, etc. So why is there an adversarial energy to this interaction? It feels like Micheál Martin is offended about being asked a question. Maybe he's not used to this type of journalism. Because look what this other journalist seems to say at the end of this interaction.
All right.
Take your time. He's telling him to take his time. Take your time being accountable. This is the kind of hardcore journalism that these politicians had to deal with prior to Grip Media coming along. That is treasonous levels of arslickery. The investigation into the overspend on the Leinster House bike shed should not be personalised to any individual, Taoiseach Simon Harris has said. Asked what form this accountability might take and whether he would be seeking the name of the person who approved the purchase, the Taoiseach replied that we need to know what the decision-making process was in relation to this. However, he said, I don't mean to personalise it to any individual. I mean, by that logic, then why does tax collection focus on the individual? Why don't we just have the collection of taxes be the communion basket at mass type situation where everybody just kind of puts in what they feel like? We don't focus on the individual and nobody really knows who gave what at the end. So Apple have been in Ireland for a couple of decades now, and Apple have not been paying all the tax, and Apple has been ordered to pay Ireland 13 billion in unpaid taxes by Europe's top court. The European Commission accused Ireland of giving Apple illegal tax advantages in 2016. Dublin has spent years of legal wrangling trying to avoid that. The Irish government has argued that Apple should not have to repay the back taxes, deeming that its loss was worth it to make the country an attractive home for large companies. I wouldn't call it noble what the Irish government has done in terms of trying to not take the money off Apple, but I would call it actually admirably realistic and self-aware. Apple is like a hot girl and Ireland is kind of like a mediocre little fucker. And somehow the two have ended up together. But deep down, the mediocre little fucker knows, by the laws of nature, this can't really last. So he goes, okay, you know the way you wanted to go out on Friday and Saturday nights and I wouldn't let you? That's fine, actually. Go out with your girlfriends, have a great time, I trust you. And then she goes, yeah, okay, I'll stay with him for a while. But then she has second thoughts again and he goes, okay, you know the way you wanted an open relationship? Okay, fine, but just do it elsewhere and I don't want to know about it and you're not cheating and it's fine, I'll go for it. And then that solves the problem for a while. And then eventually, when he's got absolutely no dignity left, he eventually just breaks down and goes, okay, fine, the pegging is fine, but just, make it quick. And, and that's where this is leading to. Robust economies aren't built on precariously undercutting other countries' tax rates. Great economies are built on great cultures. Great cultures are made up of great individuals who are risk-taking, courageous, innovative, brave. Great cultures are built of a love for success. And in truth, and I don't mean to be mean, but the Irish are so busy sitting around drinking pints and being pissed off at the English that we don't have time for any of that. Until we manufacture like a new breed of Irish person that has like the patter of the Northside Dubliners, the friendliness and kindness of the Culchie, the instinct for tax evasion of the Southside Dubliner, the fight IQ of the traveller. And we can retain our cynicism when it comes to humour, but we will need a nice healthy dollop of the good old North American positivity. Not enough to make us as naive, as daft, as doused in sentimentality, and as addicted to nostalgia as they are, but enough to just make us stop hating you too. Until we do that, the best course of action is to give the money voluntarily back to Apple. In the hands of Apple, 11 billion quid can achieve technological marvels for the benefit of all of humankind. In the hands of the Irish government, 11 billion can achieve really expensive flip-flops, civil service art, a few half-finished hospitals, higher dole, and just general fraud. For humanity's sake, return the money, guys. We're not ready.